welcome to Savepoint, a video game show where we talk about video game topics you send us on Twitter with hashtag Savepoint, and in the YouTube comments and on Tumblr. My name is Ryan Shepard.
I'm Nick Rubio.
I'm Hunter Taylor.
And someone read a topic.
God. Alright, Noshgosh on Twitter, at Noshgosh123, asked us our thoughts on Beyond Two Souls, The Wolf Among Us, and a favorite game from this year.
Ooh. Alright, so you're the only one who actually has been able to... You played Beyond Two Souls, correct?
I've not played it, but
You
I've
haven't
seen
played
over 4 hours of it.
Alright, so tell us all about it.
Okay. Well, Beyond Two Souls isn't really a game you really have to play to experience because it's more of a narrative game. But pretty much, it's kind of like based off of what people have been saying about the game and stuff. I can't really. I can voice my opinion on how I think the narrative is and how the controls are, but apparently the controls are less gamey or whatever as Heavy Rain.
Yeah, I heard it was a lot better than than Heavy Rain was. That it was more like you didn't have to do with Heavy Rain. Remember with Heavy Rain to open doors you had to do those crazy J thing.
That's what I was gonna say was
yeah, you don't have to do that with Beyond Two Souls from what I hear.
Even less gamey than that because everything you do is down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gameplay down on the red stick.
Well, no, what I heard is the combat is whatever position that she's in, you have to do it whichever way she's...
And then the only other gameplay you have is moving her or
interacting.
hiding.
Yeah.
That's it. And I heard the controls for hiding are kind of annoying.
I've heard good things about the controls for hiding.
I've heard they're kind of they don't work properly sometimes. It'll be flick the stick down to do that thing where it makes that triangle and then hits or makes somebody cold.
Bop it.
Yeah. So, twist it. And pretty much,
Alright, I was like, is he going to contribute one or not?
that was such fun. Okay, so...
I've sucked at Bop It.
Really?
I was never really that good at it. I mean, it's the ADD thing. It's halfway through, I'm just throw it.
Right now, Josh is no! Don't deviate from the question!
Oh, okay, you know what, I think Beyond Two Souls, it looks really interesting to me. I love narrative games. I mean, I love narrative in games, not necessarily narrative games. But I just think it's really interesting that how contentious it is. People giving it 9s and people giving it 6s. It's it's been a long time since I've seen a game that's been so controversial.
Yeah, so especially among very popular mediums. It's not just people saying, "Oh, that game sucks." It's reputable people, giving these reviews saying, hey, it's not something that I liked, and then other people were like, "It's fucking awesome. What are you crazy? This is the next thing since sliced bread."
Another complaint was that it was out of order.
Well, that's
and I heard people say, IGN I think said, they're even if it was in order, it wouldn't have made that much sense in the end anyway.
But it's Pulp Fiction. I mean,
that was put
it together yourself.
But here's another thing: is with Heavy Rain, every choice you make matters. Whereas for Beyond Two Souls,
it matters. There's 12 endings.
Huh?
There's 12 endings.
No, but the thing still ends up things still end up the same way. So say
Wait, is this spoilery?
No, it's not spoiler. Okay. But there'll be
spoilers.
a mission where she's at this party and then this guy's like, "Hey, you want to dance or you want to kiss or you want me to touch your ass or something?" And then she's just
those are your options.
You could be like, "No, I'm not like that. Back off." Or
yes, touch my ass, please.
Let me kiss
I'd
you.
like that.
Either way, it still ends up with them being assholes and throwing you in the closet and acting like you're a freak. You don't feel like anything's changed in the future.
Well, see, I actually heard someone say that you did see significant differences.
I know there's different endings, but I know I've seen them played in different the same missions played in different ways, and they all ended up the same way. They never changed.
I'd have to play it myself to really fairly be able to say. Do you have any more thoughts on that, or do you want to move on to the next part of this question?
The Wolf Among Us, new Telltale game.
I have yet to play a single Telltale game.
Really? You really need to take time and play Walking Dead. I have it on. You can play it and get your opinion of it. But honestly, they're great games. They're it's a great story. It's not so much. It's kind of the same thing with Beyond Two Souls, where it's not so much a gamey kind of thing. You're kind of a
really good story.
Yeah, you have to make decisions, and every now and then you get to shoot a zombie in the head or something like that. But it's not you're kind of playing through the story, and making decisions.
You're a lot more removed from it.
Basically.
Okay, you're more watching it rather than.
But at some points, you're kind of in it. At one point, you have to sneak around some zombies and stuff like that. But you have to do it.
All right. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about The Wolf Among Us?
I haven't seen much on it, actually.
Spoiler, there's zombies.
Yeah. The only Telltale game I've actually played is a trial version. The trial version of Back to the Future.
Wait,
what? Like, they did the Back to the Future thing. Yeah. That was like the only thing I tried. And I was like, Jurassic Park, they're making a Jurassic Park one. And I heard it was bad. So I never tried it. I never got to try it. So, and I always wanted to try Walking Dead.
So, this is going to be a hard one. Favorite game from this year. Year's not over. So, I'm just going to say favorite game of the year so far.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my answer is.
You can't.
I know.
So you put me between a rock and a hard place because I know which one I want.
Which one have you had the best experience with?
I loved Bioshock Infinite. The story was so great. The ending was mind blowing. There's, I feel like there's so much more to build off from it because it like when you finish it, it's kind of like there's all these questions and there's all this speculation. You're kind of like holy crap, So there's a lot of like community input and stuff like that, especially with Burial at Sea coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And then The Last of Us. Last of Us was such a good game. Me and you played through that, and it was such like, we were on the edge of the seats the entire time trying to play through that.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a great story. So there's a lot of good stories games that came out this year that it's hard for me to say whether to pick between one or the other.
All right, well then you can think about it. You go, Hunter. What's yours?
The Last of Us. That was shocker. Because I'm a Naughty Dog person, but Last of Us. Naughty Dog is just like that game really like hit home with me because
you lost your chode thing.
Trying to talk about something serious. And your frog ninja falling off your shoulder. That's why you have to cuddle it.
Yeah, obviously you don't have enough badges yet.
I got it. Alright, there we go.
Okay, yeah. So yes, it hit home.
What about GTA
5? Last of Us has really hit home with me because, not doing spoilers, but I know like
that part where everyone died. Oh.
Yeah.
No, like I know how it feels to like lose someone very close to you, and I understood like. Joel is my favorite character. I know most people are like, oh, it's...
I hope so. He's the main character.
No, I know. No, most people...
No, I could definitely see people having Ellie being their favorite character.
A lot of people are like, oh, this is Ellie's story and Ellie's journey, blah, 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 and Joel's is there. I'm like,
hey, there's some diehard Tess fans,
yeah, I was
too.
going to say, like, Tess was pretty cool.
She was very badass.
So, like, for me, I just really connected with Joel a lot. And it just really, like, was such an emotional thrill ride that was just... I'm never gonna forget it. Like that game still sticks with me to this day. That I'm just like.
You played the hell out of it.
Yeah, like it, but it's just something that's so vivid. Like you'll play those games, like, oh, that was a good game. I remember this like bits and pieces, but like when you play like, really good games like that, or like GTA 5 or Bioshock Infinite, you're gonna not ever really forget a lot of these amazing moments. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so hard to choose a favorite game this year, even though I haven't played Infinite yet, but. Yeah, The Last of Us is definitely the game that's really stuck with me.
You remember that time where Booker caught something?
Oh, God. Yeah, no. Booker, catch! Alright, okay, so, I actually just finished, finally, Bioshock Infinite. I'm a little ashamed to say that it took me so long to finish it, but honestly, of all the games I've played this year so far, I have to say that it's my favorite. And it's not to jump on a bandwagon or anything, it's just that I played the game, and I feel like they did everything so well. I think the narrative is absolutely fantastic. The whole story throughout is great. I think that something they did extremely well was pacing in the game, that the action is very consistent throughout. I feel like a lot of games usually have like a slow build up in the beginning and they kind of like action and then you have kind of like a slow middle part that you have to get through. I think they actually paced out the action very well throughout the entire storyline. The guns were fun to use, although like I didn't feel too much inclined to switch between guns. I feel like I got like the carbine.
I actually heard people say that.
Yeah. Is like I got the carbine and I was pretty much happy with it. So they didn't really. I don't think they could have maybe done a better job with putting you in situations where you want to use different weapons, but and otherwise it was great. The sound design was amazing. The soundtrack for the game, even like the battle music and everything, I think was really great. I think something you always notice in a game is when you have like fighting music, it gets tedious after a while. Is like you get kind of bored of hearing the music over and over again. But like I loved it. I loved all the battle music. I loved the cues, like when the battle stops and when there's no more danger. I loved how they did it. They had Nocturne and Cannon in the soundtrack. It was awesome. Definitely game of the year so far for me, and I think it'll be a hard one to upseat.
I don't know. I love just kind of sitting around and just watching the machinations of, you know...
A very alive world,
yeah. It's very, like, you kind of just sit back and you're just like, jeez, you know, it's...
That ending, though. Jeez. I'm so surprised it wasn't, like, spoiled for me. Like, I'm so thankful for that, too.
I still can't believe you believed my crazy thing that I told you.
Dude, you act like that's less crazy than the actual ending. Okay, Nick, did you pick yet?
No, I didn't pick. You can't make me, god damn it. I don't know, I'll have to probably swing Bioshock just because Bioshock was... everything about it was just awesome.
You were between Last of Us and Bioshock, but you picked Bioshock.
I should have said GTA.
You should
Pokemon.
You should have said, like, Remember Me.
That's, well, gone so far, like, I think, for most people, like, the main games are The Last of Us, GTA 5, Infinite, Gone Home, and...
You see, Gone Home definitely couldn't be game of the year
not in the same peg as all of those games.
Because, like, that's the thing is, like,
if you put it, like, on an indie tier, maybe, but not, like...
But even still, that's not, like, last year, like, my favorite game was Journey. And Journey, obviously, is not on the scale of, like, Mass Effect 3.
It doesn't have to be on the scale, but...
No, but it's an indie game.
Yeah.
And Journey, to me, was better than all those games.
No, I definitely agree. Like, an indie game could be the best game that you played in the year, but I just don't see it.
I don't feel like Gone Home is on that tier though.
I haven't played it, so I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Darren Youngblood at Youngblood Games says, let's see, how games could implement moral choice systems efficiently, and games with the most memorable music.
I don't know. I feel like games do a pretty good job with moral choices right now, because you got to think, the undertaking that it takes to make a game where there's little choices that you can make to affect the ending, I mean, that's such a huge undertaking. That's a big game. You got to think that there's somebody who's sitting there who's writing the storyline, but then also writing all these other multiple Spider-Line storylines. You know, like it's a huge thing to just sit there and think, well, God, they could have made this choice a lot harder for me. I'm like, yeah, but you got to think they have to, whatever you do here is going to affect you there. So it's such a...
I think they're getting better at it.
They're definitely getting better at it.
Because it's the problem before was like it being black and white. Like you're like, all right, this is the good guy option, this is the bad guy option. Which way do I want to play it? So it was less of an immersive thing. It's like you ever take like one of those character tests on the internet, and you're like, the answers to put to get the character you want. It's kind of like that. Like I like how just now I think recently we're seeing more ambiguous games where it's like,
you think your sister's cute? Well, then you might be a Lannister.
like. You don't really know necessarily what the right and wrong answer is, and I think that's the best way for it to be, because life isn't so black and white.
Funny thing, GTA 5, you haven't beaten it yet, right?
Not yet, no.
People who have beaten GTA 5, this fits perfectly with that, and they know what I'm talking about. No spoilers, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Beat GTA 5, because that's exactly what the ending is.
What, there's bad moral choices and good moral choices? Alright.
Apparently it's kind of ambiguous.
I love GTA 5.
Alright, so do you think games could do something to make the moral choices more efficient?
I mean, I think they could. There's progress everything
there's
they
always
do is
progress, but I mean, like, we're doing really good right now. Like, not to meaning
it's not
to
Fable 3.
Yeah, not meaning to bring this game up again, but Heavy Rain, that was, to me, like, one of the best ways you could possibly do it, because it affects, like, it really does affect the story, because any of the characters could die and fuck up everything.
Fire Emblem did that years before Heavy Rain, though.
No, I'm not saying it's the first.
Hipster gamer over here.
I'm just saying
Fire Emblem was doing it before it was cool.
I'm not saying it's the first. I'm saying Heavy Rain was just did it really well.
But it had the same thing where, like, if a character died, that character was erased from your storyline from then on out, and you didn't get their input at all.
Alright, his second part of this question, games with most memorable music. Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah, but all the Bioshock games I think had awesome music. I loved, like, playing when I first got into, like, the world of Rapture and hearing, like, God, that's... what I'm trying to think about the time period. It was like the 60s when he was there. It was like the 60s.
Wait, who was in the 60s?
The main character.
The main character for
Bioshock.
I forget what his name
1912?
Was it 1912?
Yeah, it takes place in 1912.
Shit, what am I thinking of?
The 60s? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
They've Creedence Clearwater Revival, but that's definitely music from the future.
Okay, but that era, when people were, bootlegging alcohol and all that shit, like that was... I loved hearing that. So like, it gave me chills walking through like the halls of Rapture and hearing all that stuff.
So is that your favorite?
It's definitely one of the most memorable ones. Just,
Fallout 3.
Oh yeah, Fallout.
Oh, Fallout 3.
That was such a good song.
Dang.
I remember like I
Got
was
me.
shooting raiders or whatever, or
You're listening to happy-go-lucky music.
I know.
You're singing with Frank Sinatra. You're like,
It's such a weird combination, but it juxtaposes in like such a really interesting way that just like complements the story.
Such a good soundtrack. Uncharted had really good soundtracks.
Dead Space 3 or 2.
See, it's interesting if you talk about like soundtracks and also sound design, because I would say like, if not just music, but in Fallout 3 with like Radio Free Wasteland and like with whatever President Eden Prime's thing was, like his Liberty Talk show thing, that added so much value to the
Enclave
game.
Radio.
Enclave Radio, yeah, something like that. I don't know. There are other games like Legend of Zelda always had good music.
Skyrim.
Skyrim had great music.
Yeah.
You're just kind of sitting there in the music, and you're just getting tingles in your spine, like looking off into the distance and like seeing the planes roll.
See, Guild Wars had good music.
I think you're forgetting one that you were going to mention.
What?
A certain game.
Last of Us?
No.
What? Last of Us had a great soundtrack too.
With the epic music.
What? What is it? Oh my god.
You're gonna sit here and torture him?
Is he doing this on purpose?
No. Porpoise?
God.
What is it?
Oh, haha, I got it now.
There you go.
Oh! Oh, okay. That was, yeah.
Come on.
Are you gonna say it? Or?
You gotta keep them on their toes.
He lives in the ocean.
It's Echo the Dolphin. Let me just spare you all that. Defender of the Future.
Oh.
Did you know what the third game was going to be called? Okay, the second game is Defenders of the Future. The third one was going to be called Echo the Dolphin Sentinels of the Universe.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like...
What? Why is Echo the Dolphin so amazing?
I thought it was going to be like Echo the Dolphin back in time.
Echo the Dolphin, Eliminator Dolphin.
Eliminator Dolphin, Terminator Dolphin.
I was trying to like make like something that mixed with Dolphin. The Dolphinator? I don't know.
Return of the Dolphin.
Return of the Dolphin.
Shark Strike Back.
Echo Dolph Gatto.
Oh, that reminds me. Another good soundtrack. Donkey Kong Country Returns. I remember, not Returns, Donkey Kong Country. I'm messed up. That was a good soundtrack. I really like that soundtrack too.
Right.
Fez had a great soundtrack.
But we all know the way Fez went. Don't pull a fish! Alright, go ahead.
Oh, Journey. That's another one.
Yeah, Don't Stop Believing.
God.
Punjab. McGee.
I don't know, does that mean something?
Punjab.
Punjab?
I think that's a better way to say it.
Punjab.
McGee.
Yeah, McGee. At Punjab McGee.
Great name. Battlefield 4 Beta. Also, if you guys haven't checked out this game, Damned, then you must. It's an alpha, but it's truly terrifying.
Hashtag damned.
Hashtag damned. Well, that's the game name. I haven't played Battlefield 4, the beta, but he's dead, Jim. Send him back to Frodel Lotsdale Hell. Pokey Hell. Is there a Pokey Hell? Did they ever discuss a Pokey Afterlife? Well, they have like Pokemon. No, let's not go there.
They have God Pokemon.
Yeah, there are like ghost Pokemon too, but whatever. I watched like a good bit of gameplay, like an hour or so of
Battlefield 4?
Yeah. So you have?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? Because a lot of people are saying they feel like it's just like
a better version of Battlefield 3. But
exactly.
Like this much better.
But they're saying that basically like it's as if Battlefield 3 was a demo and then Battlefield 4 is the full game. And that doesn't bode too well for me. I don't like that. Like,
I miss the remember the Battlefield demo we had on the original Xbox?
Battlefield 2?
Yes.
When we just throw the C4 on the little like go-kart thing and I'd like drive it off
into their base, we'd sacrifice ourselves. What happened to those days?
We used to describe that as being George Bush's like military tactic or something like that. Like, all right, we're gonna go in there and blow ourselves up.
We did the same thing with the jets too. We would line them up with C4, or not the jets, the helicopters. We'd drive them straight into the base.
We were young.
It's funny because like that's what Corey was talking about with Battlefield 3. Not to bring you into this, Corey.
Not to bring you into our hell.
But he was just like, yeah, we like throw stuff on the car and like the Humvee or whatever and drive it into a building, blow them all up, and I was just like, that's cool. I like Battlefield. I just think that Battlefield 4
Is it bringing enough to the table? You know, that's kind of what it is.
I heard the graphics look amazing.
Yeah,
on it. Like,
it looks
I heard,
like crap.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, AMD's, like, branding all their new graphics cards with Battlefield 4, so clearly the graphics in the game are a big deal.
Did you hear about that?
What?
Like, so, the PC version, you know, for Battlefield 3, it was 64-player online.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Battlefield 4. And the console version for Battlefield 3 was 32-player, because it couldn't obviously handle 64. They moved it down to 24 players.
Wait, what?
For the console?
If you notice, it's 12 on 12 on the beta. And I heard they might boost it back up to 32.
I'm thinking that might just be for the beta, because, like, come on. Because if it's going to be on, it's going to be on Xbox One, too, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so, I mean, they should be able to support.
But at the same time, like, when you look at the PC version and then you go to the console version, it just looks so, like, dubbed down. You know what I mean?
Obviously.
Like, well, I know it's a next-gen title, but I just... Not like... It's not... No, I mean, like, you know how usually it's like, oh, it looks better, but... It looks a lot better, but it doesn't look like that much better to where it's going to make me want to build a PC. Like, this makes you want to, like, be like, wow, why am I even going to bother trying to buy it for the console?
Well, damn.
So...
Okay. So,
I feel that way for every game.
You guys want to talk about the damned thing?
Yeah, we watched a couple videos on it, and it looks awesome. I mean, like, the whole idea of having a human person being the AI.
Yeah, and being the monster.
Yeah, like, that adds, like, a whole new level of, like, terrifying, because, you know, computers can get scary. Computers, you know, can be scary, but you gotta think when computers are scary, it's because they've been scripted to be scary.
Yeah, they can't really fuck with you either, you know?
Especially the way that they did the monsters in this game is you can't see where your opponents are, but you can walk through every door, you know, and then once you're able to manifest yourself, you know, when you're off your little time clock, you can manifest yourself, and whoever's in that room you have to go get, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like an extremely, like, I mean, it's an alpha, so you can't really judge, but it's not like a really super good looking game, and it doesn't look like it has that much complexity to it, but, like, they definitely, they definitely try to do, like, a lot with a little, I think, because, like, it's very dark, and that's one thing that always freaks me out in a horror game is, like, when you can't see. Because, I'm sorry, everyone is afraid of the dark when you know there's something in it. That's my thoughts on it.
It's coming for you.
And it's like, okay, so you play, when you're a human, you have a flashlight, but the thing is, you have a flashlight, they can obviously see you, so it's sort of like this, like,
well, that's the thing,
catch-22 to it.
They can't see you if you're a ghost. When he's the
No,
ghost.
I'm saying when he's in a monster form, it's going to be a lot harder to see if you don't have your flashlight on, so it's like, I don't know, when, like, we watched him when he was, like, kind of, like, ducking behind some furniture, and it was, like, completely dark, and you just see, like, shadows moving, like, alright, that's pretty scary.
I think the game looks really good. I just think that, I don't know, like, it looks like a lot of fun. It just looks like you just, like, play that all day, like, it reminded me, just be like, haha.
And yeah, I don't think I don't really think there are, like, I can't think of another really horror game that, like, is really good, like, play it with your friends game.
Like,
I mean, like, Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
But I mean, like,
but you
is
know,
that really a horror game?
It's kind of predictable, though.
The multiplayer, okay, no, Left 4 Dead is a horror game by all means, but I mean, like, the multiplayer isn't so much horror, you know?
Like, this is way more unpredictable.
Yeah.
So, like, Left 4 Dead, you're like, I guarantee you a smoker's going to pull me up right here.
Yeah.
Yep, and it happens. So, I think it looks really good.
Yeah. Alright, you going to tell us about the Pokemons?
Woo!
The Pokemons.
Pokemon came out on Saturday. It was two days ago.
How have you stopped playing it?
We're filming now, aren't we?
I looked down and you're like, these are dummy arms, and his real arms are underneath the table playing Pokemon.
The inside of my glasses are the screen.
Yeah, these are like
Google.
You get like retinal implants actually, so you just always see it and never stop. Okay, so we're gonna give away Nick's DS.
We're not giving away Nick's DS. Get out of here.
All right, no, tell us about it. Is it good? Is it good, or is it better? Is it worse? Is it left?
My only complaint about it so far is I'm only 4 gyms in, and I feel like there isn't so much of a story to this as there have been other ones. You know, as much as a story as the other ones have.
I heard someone else saying that.
You know, the original one was you were having a competition with this other neighbor kid that you met and went on this adventure at the same time, who you probably named something awful. Stay. And you have to go out and become the very best, catch all the Pokemon, and beat Team Rocket.
Oh my God. Has anyone named their character Ned Stark's Bastard?
You probably couldn't fit it.
You don't think so? Because people always like, oh, you must be, and that would just be great. Everywhere you go, oh, you must be Ned Stark's Bastard. Okay, so the one thing I used to play Pokemon games a lot. Like I had like 200 hours on my copy of Emerald. So
still never got that Celebi on the moon.
Yeah, no, that freaking like lied to you and told you that you could take the space shuttle to the moon. Crap, liars, bastards. Anyway, for me, when I played the Pokemon games when I was a kid, and even as I got kind of older, is the big problem was like I didn't have anyone to trade with. So all those Pokemon that you had to trade for, like I was just SOL. So I like that now you can trade online.
Yeah, it's seamless. As long as you have internet connection or even people next to you, you know, people who are near you that you can be on like a kind of, you know, ad hoc wireless connection with, you can trade and battle and, you know, give them these things called O-powers, which are, I don't know how to explain them. They're just these things that you can send. They're boosts that you can send.
Powers.
Yeah, it's pretty. And then getting them is even creepier because you have to meet this guy who's in a pink suit in a random hotel room, and he asks you, "Do you know what O-powers do?" And you're, no.
Hey kid.
And he's like,
you know
"Well,
what O-powers do?
It's time for some
I'm show you.
It's time for some bonding." That's what he says. And then like the room goes black, and then it like fades back to color, and it's like, yeah, I've taught you this now.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's really strange. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool because you like can like heal people when they're in battle or increase their chances of
Mind if
catching.
I play your Pokeflute? Handle your Pokeballs?
I actually brought that back for this.
Pokeflute's back?
Yeah, I brought the Pokeflute.
So, is it the best Pokemon game you've ever played?
I can't say that because I'm always gonna have, you know, red in my head forever.
Like, I mean, like, okay, I get the whole idea of, like, for the time when it came out, sure, it was great and everything, but, like, if
obviously it's
it came out right now, as, like, hey, you want to play this Pokemon Red? You want to play this awesome 3D world where you can go around, you can trade with people on the internet?
It's the best iteration as far as, you know, features and functionality, but, I mean, as far as, like, games, as far as all of them go, the original 151 were, you know, the best. But that's what I really like about this game is that a lot of the Pokemon that you see are original ones. Like, but, you know, with the other games, it was like you had to go out of your way to find original first-gen Pokemon, you know? This one, it's a lot, you can...
With current technology, I feel like they could combine every region in one game. But that's not how you make money, I guess.
The Pokemon games are going for a lot. Heart Gold and Soul Silver sell for more than this game.
But think about it, it's like they have Pokemon X, they have Pokemon Y, when it could have just been one game, but... you know. But then I guess it's their whole, like, you put some Pokemon in some game, some Pokemon in the other, so it encourages trading.
The game's really French, too.
Yeah. French. Okay, so so I don't know. Any last thoughts? Like, what are your big thing taken away from the game so far? Is
I don't know. That would have to be the biggest thing that I take away from the game is the seamless trading and battling and stuff like that. But just because you don't have to go to the Poke Center now to like talk to one of the 3 random people who you wouldn't really know what they did.
And you don't need like a freaking like System Connect wire. And
you haven't needed that for a long time though.
Dude, I haven't played a Pokemon game in a while. Anyway, so would you recommend it? Is it a buy or
definitely
buy or
if you have a 3DS and have the
destroy?
Buy it. Yes.
I wonder if you get in trouble for that. Like, if you had, like, oh, you either buy this game or destroy it. And then, like, people start blaming us because people go into GameStop with, like, screwdrivers. And they're just like, gah, no one will ever have to suffer again. Alright. Okay, so, any other thoughts?
And you get to choose 2 starters, which is pretty cool.
Oh, really? You get 2 starters?
Yeah, you
well, shit, now you have to buy it. You get 2 starters?
you get one of the...
That's twice as many starters in any other game.
You get one of the 6th gens, and you get one of the 1st gens, so...
Alright. Well, oh, we have to... Let's ask him something. Let's see. What's your game of the year so far,
that's what I was gonna say.
What's your game of the year so far? Tell us in the comments. We'll probably give out some posters and stuff. We got Diablo 3. Dragon's Crown. We still got some Pacific Rim ones.
Got some Nick's DS.
Yeah, well, you know,
I'm not giving away my DS.
If Nick dies for some reason,
my frozen solid corpse.
If his, you know, if we leave him in the ocean and, you know, drifts off, and somehow his possessions just happen to, you know, fall in our hands, then yeah, we'll just give him to you.
I'm gonna do what the Vikings do, and all my possessions be put into a
funeral pyre.
Yeah, into a ship, and you have to shoot a flaming arrow into it.
And miss 3 times.
Yes.
Who was that?
That was
Edmund
Tully. Yeah, it was Edmund Tully. Yeah. He fucked up.
That was funny but sad at the same time.
Blackfish sucked it up though. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. My name is Ryan Shepard.
I'm Nick Rubio.
Hunter Taylor. You can't forget him, Mr.
Froakie.
Froakie the Chode.
And play Echo the Dolphin.